ICE is having women in their custody have hysterectomies. And the reason, or a possible reason why, is shocking. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. When this story broke a few weeks ago, this Law and Crime actually was the first place that I knew of that published it. This was on September 14th. Jerry Lamba writing the headline, "Like an experimental concentration camp, whistleblower complaint alleges mass hysterectomies at ICE detention center." A nurse who worked there, her name was Dawn Wooten. This is the center at the Irwin County Detention Center in Georgia, operated by LaSalle Corrections, a private prison company. She says that multiple women have come forward. This is from her complaint. A detained immigrant told Project South that she talked to 5 different women detained at ICDC between October and December of last year who had a hysterectomy done. Multiple women have come forward to talk about this. It's one particular guy. He represents himself as a gynecologist. It turns out he's not even board certified as a gynecologist. Wooten said everyone he sees has a hysterectomy. Just about everyone. Everybody's uterus cannot be that bad. The women in the place call him the uterus collector. So, I spoke out and said, why would they be doing this? Is this, the only 2 reasons that come to my mind immediately are, number one, it's eugenics. This is perpetuation of Stephen Miller's "Let's turn America white again." Let's, make America white again. They use the word great, but we all know what they mean. That's what it is. They're trying to sterilize brown women, Hispanic women. Or that they're trying to cover up things like pregnancies that result from rape by guards. And at the time that I raised that, I said, I'm reluctant to even say this out loud because it just sounds so awful. But over the weekend, 25 people were protesting outside the Douglas County Jail on Saturday in response to these allegations. And then ProPublica publishes this. This came out, I believe, today by Lomi Creel. Guards at an immigration detention center sexually assaulted and harassed inmates in a pattern of and practice of abuse. Now, this was in the El Paso Center, but, hey, they're all run by the same people, basically. These studies, the allegations detailed in a filing first obtained by ProPublica and the Texas Tribune, say that the guards systematically assaulted people, often in areas of the detention center not visible to security cameras. The guards told victims that no one would believe them because footage did not exist, and the harassment involved officers as high-ranking as a lieutenant. Since the complaint was filed Wednesday, 2 more women have come forward with abuse allegations. At least 1 other woman was deported after a guard assaulted her. The El Paso County District Attorney's Office has forwarded potentially criminal allegations to the DHS's Inspector General. All right, Chad Wolf's definitely going to do something about this, isn't he? This particular place, it's run by Global Precision Systems, which is a subsidiary of Bering Straits Native Corporation, which contracts with ICE to run the El Paso facility. ICE imprisons about 50,000 immigrants across the United States. You and I pay $2.7 billion a year, mostly to private for-profit contractors who are big donors to the Republican Party for this. Out of that 50,000 immigrants who are detained, between 2010 and 2016, there was 14,700 complaints alleging physical and sexual abuse. Formal complaints. People who are actually willing to put up with the possibility of being, put in solitary or being raped or whatever as retribution. And they note that in the ProPublica notes, only a small fraction were ever inspected by the Office of the Inspector General. In a May court filing in Houston, a Mexican woman said in an ICE facility, she and 2 female detainees were moved to an isolation cell. Around midnight, 3 men wearing facial coverings entered the cell. They raped and beat them. The immigrants were then bused to Mexico hours later, where the woman eventually discovered that she was pregnant from that assault. The detention center, which is run by Core Civic, called the allegations slanderous and denied them, but there is a civil lawsuit going on. A Salvadoran woman, this is, again, I'm reading this, you can find this at propublica.org. A Salvadoran woman was repeatedly harassed. A guard said that if she would fool around with him, he'd give her clean uniforms and soap. He told her he'd pay her a lot of money to meet him for sex in a spot not visible to the cameras. 2 other officers also repeatedly targeted her, according to the complaint. One sent her messages through other women, even after she was released. She said in a telephone interview that guards encourage women to sign up for anti-anxiety medication and antidepressants because the guards oversee the dispensing of medication at night and have access to an enclosed off-camera area. I thought it was too, frankly, Louise and I debated even bringing this up on the radio because it's like, that's just like so over the top that they're performing hysterectomies so that they can rape these women without worrying about getting them pregnant. And I still, I have no evidence of this, just, 2 + 2. But my God. Anyway. Back to all the other news of the day. It's like it just never stops. It's like, drinking out of a fire hose here in the Trump administration. Every day there's some new fascist or right-wing, outrage, for lack of a better word.